You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Castle After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Castle After Show.
I always want to whistle every time that comes on. Bing is for doing it. We are doing another episode of Castle Season 5, Episode 12, Death Gone Crazy. I am your host, Bamm Ericsen, and I would like to introduce you to my panel.
Yes, hi, I am Paige Sullivan.
I am Samara Bay.
I am Larice, Shamar.
All right, so thank you guys for watching. So let's just go around really quick. Give us your thoughts on what you thought, starting with...
I'm still annoyed that I'm missing, I know I complained about it, but I'm missing the Castle Beckett thing. I feel like that was left a loose end. And so it wasn't addressed this episode. Outside of that, I liked the episode. It kept me guessing. It was really one of those murder mysteries where I was like, who done it? Who done it? And I mean, they caught me kind of off guard.
I mean, they knew what they were doing, trying to give us all a little fun. I mean, not only naked-ish girls, but naked-ish boys. And I love that there was like somebody making up that there was that the secret item X was a sex tape, and then it turned out to be a different sex tape. Like the sex tape on sex tape action. How can you complain?
Oh, God.
Hey, I think sex tapes always keep you interested, though. But I think overall, it's like Girls Gone Wild, college style. I think it was real great, kind of introducing other episode. But as the episode kind of went on, we kind of learned a lot of twists and turns in the episode that kept me guessing. I was actually wrong about what the murderer was. But you know, Esposito actually kind of stepped up a lot in the episode. He's getting a lot more like camera time. Like he's starting to be like almost the main character. I'm starting to forget about Castle and Beckett, the relationship.
Beckett was very straight man today.
Yeah. I like this episode, and again with Esposito, I like how, I don't know how and why he's become the focus of some of the episodes, but his character is starting to stand out more, and I really, really like it. So I don't mind the backseat because I was actually getting a little tired of always having to deal with the Castle and Beckett, and I think if you continue to do that, I mean, there's 22 episodes, so if you drill us with that for 22 episodes, we're going to be bored, tired, okay, when you guys are getting married or when you guys are going to break up. So I like the fact that they don't throw it in our faces much. They did it for the first maybe 9 episodes. Okay, so let's take a break, let's relax. And now, for some reason, Esposito's character is really becoming the breakout co-star.
But what do you think about Ryan? Ryan
I feel bad for him. I miss the camaraderie between the two of them.
They had some good moments.
They still have good moments, but Esposito, it's like Esposito's here and Ryan is here.
Yeah.
And it's all
because that's what happens when you're married. You guys, you become boring.
Right.
I
It's kind
should
of
know.
a bad way to say, like, hey, tell me don't get married because you're like,
Seriously,
don't do it.
when you get married, you get less airtime, less lines.
Life changes.
Oh gosh, it's weird. I agree. It's weird to not see them together.
So it's okay to be single.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did have some funny moments, but you know, I liked it, and so I hope that they continue to give Esposito.
That said, there was not a lot of Laney time in this episode. I mean, it would have been interesting. I thought that they were setting up that that Esposito was going to go after this hot, would-be suspect, in order for Laney to like see it and for it to raise some sort of tensions. But
Yeah, she was only in that one scene, but I do like the fact that at least they had some kind of banter toward each other when they were talking about the whole bra thing, which was a 36D Sedora or something, and it was like a $250 bra, and then Esposito's like, who pays $250 for a bra? And she was like, well, you guys paid $250 for some sneakers. So there was a really quick interaction, you know, with each other.
Yeah, I was about to say something about that. And then Castle was like, eject.
Which I feel like was exactly the same as something that happened last week. Like they're setting up that dynamic.
Yeah. Although $250 for a bra,
also $250 even for running shoes. I'm sorry, that's on the high end.
Well, that's very pricey,
Bamm's
very
like,
nice
But
bra.
a bra,
I've never spent that much.
You can say a bra, but you guys wear shoes every single day of your life when you walk outside. I'm sorry. We wear bras every single day of our lives. They're very believed.
That's what Lainey was trying to suggest.
I'm sorry.
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is happening.
If you were plus size, because I do know for women who are super plus size, bras are really expensive.
It becomes an anatomical issue.
But for a 36D,
well, a D is a big, breasted woman, and if she's a little woman, like she was. Tiffany, she's the one it was her bra.
Yeah.
She's a small girl with very big chest. You can get back problems from that.
But I wear my shoes probably maybe 3 times a week. You wear a bra, hopefully, once every other week.
What? Are you kidding me?
That type of bra. I mean, I'm pretty sure you wear bras every day.
Yeah,
that type of bra, $250.
It's like
kind of like.
This shows exactly why.
Looking like a boy right now. You're looking like a boy.
This is exactly why this episode was so funny when Castle was like, "Don't even try and talk about this because you're gonna lose."
I get what he's. I
That
get what he's.
said, I have never bought a $250 bra.
No, me either. No.
That's it's like a special bra.
I also wasn't like the girlfriend of some guy who ran like the biggest girls gun wild
Crazy,
enterprise in the nation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna go forward now, and so let's talk. Because we can go on about this, but we're not. So let's talk about Castle and Alexis, father-daughter relationship.
Cute.
And so what happens is he Googles himself. Okay.
I've Googled myself.
Absolutely.
I've never Googled myself.
You should Google it. AfterBuzz will come
You should
up.
have a drink and Google yourself.
Yeah, be prepared.
I feel like
I'm gonna Google you right now, Bamm, and see what comes up.
no.
Bamm Ericsen.
I feel like it's like too vain in me to like Google myself. So I don't want.
Well, it's important because you never know what somebody else is putting up about you.
Exactly.
It's not vanity. It's like image management.
Yeah, it's your brand.
Which ties it back into Castle, because now this is the whole idea, is that he's like, sure, you can experiment, you can be an 18-year-old, but when you do it online, it's forever, as we well know.
Well, I feel like Castle Googled himself because he loves himself.
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
And so when he Googled himself, his daughter's website came up where she has a vlog. It's a
Vlog.
For video blogging, and it's called the Conventions of Columbia Student or
Something like that.
Yeah.
And so when he saw that, of course, as a parent, he doesn't like it because.
And something that he didn't say, or that wasn't, the writers didn't have come out of his mouth, but I think maybe we were supposed to get, is it's true that he's supposed to be kind of a famous writer, and so she could possibly be in danger just because maybe it could be some good ransom money.
Yeah, that didn't even occur to me, but that would be a valid concern for somebody like Castle, who's in the public eye, and obviously his daughter.
Would hate for his daughter to pay the price, I'm sure.
I see his concern. He's a parent. I mean, my parents have always been very, what's on your Facebook? When you were in high school, like constantly checking and being like, I'm going to friend you on a secret name. I'm like, okay, whatever. But like, well, they can't even work Facebook. But like.
You're like, good luck, Mom.
Not the digital age.
All capitals. Hi, Paige. Yeah. That's what they do. But it's like, they want to know what you're doing. They want to know who you are to other people and what you're presenting to other people. And that's what he is wanting to make sure of with her.
And she makes a good point that she, obviously would like to be trusted to figure out her own.
Yeah.
But prior to them having a nice little making up good point, she comes into his office, into Beckett's office, I guess, at the precinct, and is
sassy.
Kind of the sassiest I've seen.
I think it's more so because she had the heads up knowing that you know,
Yeah.
Grandma already told me what you want to talk to me about. So, but hey, Dad, I'm good. I understand. I'm 18, so I'm kind of like independent. So she kind of had like a nasty attitude.
I thought it was revealing that she wore, like, for the first time I've ever seen it, like this business suit.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like she was trying to pull
Yeah.
rank.
Yeah.
Okay, my perspective on this, Alexis was totally out of place,
Yeah, I agree.
and
When she was in the office.
when she was in the office,
Okay, I agree.
she says, "Dad, I'm not having this conversation anymore," and she walks out. Okay, she still lives in the house. She's still there.
Yeah.
He's paying for her college.
Yeah.
She's there enough.
Sure. Okay.
She's off campus, but she's there enough where she's in the house, she's doing things, she's eating, he's paying for the tuition. You don't have that right as a child to say that.
I feel like
to
she has
say-
the right, but she doesn't have. I mean, it's not decency.
I think she kind of
It's
came
not
in more
nice.
of a disrespectful way to kind of
yeah,
handle the
I agree.
situation.
If a parent, you're paying for your daughter's education. Now it's not shown or seen, but he's very rich. He's taking care of her. He's all the clothes and things that she has on her back. It's all because of him. And so to say, you know, I'm not having this conversation anymore. For me as a parent, like, I'm not having that. I don't care if you're 18 years old. If you can take care of yourself, if you can pay for your college education, if you can pay for that business suit, if you can pay for all the things, then you are grown, and then we don't have to have this conversation because you can take care of yourself. But I thought she was out of place, and I think the way that Castle, the way he tried to mend fences, I just did not like it. I think he totally.
She did it though. She stepped up and was like, "I hate fighting with you." She
Yeah, it
didn't
wasn't
really
like, "I'm
say
sorry."
sorry. I know.
Right. She's.
I know.
Yeah, but she kind of came at it as.
It was unsympathetic.
Yes,
for
it was
sure.
unsympathetic. It was not only that, but she came to him not as a parent, not as this is my father, but it was more like a conversation
friend,
that she
right.
would have with a friend.
Yeah.
And then the way he handled it, I didn't like it.
But you notice, like, most of that confrontation between Alexis and Castle, it's like, oh, we acknowledge a problem, but then, like, when a confrontation comes, like, later on in the episode, it's like, oh, like, it never really happened, but hey, friend, let's try to make it better. So it's never really, like, a parenting, like...
He even said last episode, Alexis turned out great because he's basically said, I didn't really parent her. She just was her.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm lucky because she was an amazing girl.
I mean, they have an interesting dynamic wherein they are more friendly than
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
some other. I mean, he certainly doesn't pull the, like, you know, I'm your father with any real sense of authority much. And so, you know, she stepped a little out of bounds to see what it was like, and I think they discovered it. Neither of them
Yeah.
really like it when she's like that.
But for the nature of their relationship, it's okay. I just didn't like it.
yeah.
Yeah, I felt uncomfortable
Yeah.
about
All
it.
right, Bamm.
Didn't like
Come
it.
back to me when you have an 18-year-old daughter.
Okay.
We'll
He's
check
like,
back
I
in.
will.
I won't discuss that online. Or, you know.
25
See,
years later.
learn from Bamm, Alexis. Some things are meant to be kept off the internet.
Son.
So,
Oh, God.
So.
Okay. Anyway, so son Esposito.
He was on the prowl.
yeah.
For sure.
I like how he did the approach. Like, when he was kind of telling her...
Did you? This is such a boy versus girl episode right
No,
now.
I understand his experience because he didn't really know what to say or how to come out and say it. And, you know, she's kind of she's standing there like, hey, like, you know, are you going to say something? Can I leave? And he's just like, maybe we should just, like, grab a drink.
What was the bodyguard's name again?
Jones.
Scarlett.
Jones.
Scarlett Jones.
Yeah. And so what was interesting about this is he was turned on by the things that she did. Like he said, you know, she breaks noses. She's got to be freaky. She's sexy. She's hot. So by her being a bodyguard, by her being like a tough ass woman, that turned him on. And he thinks
Probably the fact that she was a suspect didn't hurt either.
I think he kind of overlooked all that. It's just the fact what she was, just kind of like, I want to be with her. I mean, I've been in that situation before.
I don't think he wants to be in a relationship with her.
Well, you
I
know.
think he was about ready to go back to her apartment, but
you can't. Her demeanor, like
Episode was.
she's a bodyguard, so he can't say, hey, you know, let's hook up, you know, can I bone you? He can't say that, so he has to take it slow. Let's go out for drinks first. Then you move. Yeah.
He's playing a nice guy card. He's like, hey, let me kind of get to know you. But ultimately, in my mind, I'm like, I want to go home with you. I want you to do some things to me.
I bet he wouldn't have minded if it had become. I know, that's okay. It's good. Listen, it's late night. It's late night here at AfterBuzz. You know, I feel like he probably wouldn't even have minded it not just being a one-night stand because he seems, you know, he's kind of in good guy mode all the time these days, and clearly she's, you know, a little out of his league, and he was excited for the opportunity.
Some of the things he was saying, though, even Ryan was like, this is why you're single. You know, you say these things, that's why you're single. You think this way. And it's true, and I think that's what they're trying to get at. I think they're really trying to build it up. He's single. He was parenting that kid. He's looking for a woman. He's finding these traits in women that he's claiming turn him on, but they're no different than what turned him on with Lainey. She was a woman who knew what she wanted, got what she wanted, and said what she wanted. Same thing as Scarlett. You know, it's just in different forms. I think it's just building up to that.
But he's on the prowl.
Yeah.
Although I remember last week I was like, he's just becoming so much more mature. It's going to be ready for him and Lainey. No. Nice.
What did he say? How's the investigation?
Yeah, how's the investigation going?
Investigation. Yeah.
And then when they were investigating, what's the bodyguard's name again?
Jones.
Sorry, Jones. She's, you know, he's looking through the window, and he's like, oh gosh, she's so sexy.
Yeah.
You know, and Ryan is just like, okay, I don't want to hear this, because you know, there's a easy correlation, you know, single, married, and so Ryan is a changed man.
I would love to learn more about Ryan, though, like we were saying, how they've taken a step back and really haven't included him. The baby making thing. I'd love to know if she's gonna be pregnant. Like maybe she'll run into the precinct one day, like, oh, we're pregnant. Like I want to see her, and I want him more because I think he's funny. He's quirky and cute. And
I think like with him and Esposito interact a lot. They're real funny overall. But now it's just like Esposito, is the main guy. Castle and Beckett is everybody kind of took a step back.
Yeah, they did. Besides Esposito, it's his show now.
Yeah. Two episodes.
Beckett had some just like heavy lifting this episode of just lots of serious. Boy.
She did. Well, if any of you have your opinions on whether or not you'd want to see more of Castle or more of Beckett or more Ryan, tell us on iTunes and let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you rate and comment. Tell a friend. You can always download the podcast app, which will organize all of your AfterBuzz podcasts for you, as well as any others that you may have. But make sure that you tell us what you're thinking. We do look at the comments, and we really appreciate them. So check out iTunes, please.
And what about the store?
Oh, the store. I was going to say that for news and gossip, but for you AfterBuzz fans, we do have a store on our website now. Yes. And you can buy many a thing. You can buy mugs.
These lovely things.
They're great.
Water tastes really good out of it.
They do. And
above average.
If you have a infant podcast watcher, you can get onesies for them. And, you know, it's cute. We don't have them for you, just for the babies. But there's a lot of things in there. Check it out. Make sure if you love AfterBuzz that you get some, you know, apparel.
We're working on Snuggies. So that's a little exclusive right there. We're working on some Snuggies.
Snuggies.
That's amazing. Also, a little birdie told me that they're made by American Apparel, all of the garments. So it's all, you know, American made, locally made possibly.
Wow.
Nice.
Represent.
Represent America. Was that like a go America?
No, it was AfterBuzz, but yeah. All right. We'll move on.
Let's go.
So there was a murder.
Murder, yes.
Eventually, I'll talk about the murder.
Oh gosh, the murder. It was intense. This one was very confusing. There were so many names and so many people. I had to make sure I wrote them all down because twists and turns. This was a serious murder mystery. It was never who I thought it was. So it turns out that Bo Randolph, he's basically the Joe Francis. You know, he's the college girls gone crazy as opposed to girls gone wild. And he's got tons of money, tons of women. He doesn't probably have the best character. He's not known, you know, for producing good quality film, I guess, that you would watch in a theater.
But they put a lot of time, I mean, surprisingly, a surprising amount, that's what I meant to say, of time into setting up who he was before he died and really showing that he had, not just that people were saying afterwards, but that we actually got to see that he had a genuine sense of, you know, a crisis of conscience.
Even walking in, you know, there was protesters across the street. They're yelling at him about how bad he is and he's scum. And you can see he stops and looks and, you know, he's registering what they're saying and he's kind of feeling it and he's wanting, you can see, and even in the bar when he's in there walking up on the stage, he doesn't have a smile, gets on stage, puts on the show and comes back off and looks very somber and, you know, like he's mourning something, like really upset.
And then the writers like really underline it with like
the somber music.
Do you want another drink?
Oh yeah.
Not again. This is the last time or whatever it was.
Yeah, it seemed like he was really like his mind was not there at the party. Like he had a lot going on, as if like someone was chasing him, or he was kind of like just dying. He kind of knew he was like dying for some reason.
Now that we know the whole story, I don't think he was saying, when I first watched it, he was like, "This will be the last time." I was like, "Oh, he knows he's being killed. Like that's no fun." But now I realize he must have been going to tell his friend that they were closing down the business. He's trying to repair his image and be a better person for his son or daughter. But at first I was kind of like, this is so cheesy. And this whole episode, it was like, this is my last drink. No more parties for me. I'm done. And then the girl was like, I didn't do it, but I know who did. And the guy's like, I didn't do it, but I know who did. And they're all saying that. And I'm like, this is literally one of those murder mysteries where everybody's pointing fingers, but nobody knows why or who or when.
I think they had so many, they figured out, I mean, a fantastic, you know, span of events that happened, but the writers figured out so many that they had to shortchange the sort of slyness that you get into the news stories, and it did become like, but I know who did.
Or they thought.
Yeah, I thought either everybody was kind of like involved in the murder because, like you said, every time I know who did. It's like we group murdered like.
It could have
been that type of thing, but in the end, I was wrong.
Everybody was kind of doing him wrong, though. I mean, if you think about it, Tiffany was crazy, ex-girlfriend. She snuck in with a fake wig and
like that hair would have fit under that wig.
I know. And so then she has revenge sex in the bathroom to get back at him.
Like you do, apparently.
Apparently she's like, you know.
Like, who does
that was one of the best moments with Beckett. She's like,
but Castle's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like when he was young, he was really.
I was that guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny when they asked, "What's the guy's name?" And she was
right.
I don't know.
It's bathrooms. It's like it's a hookup. Like who knows the name?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Castle's like, Beckett. Come on, haven't you? No.
I know.
Knows.
So sad. But so it's not Tiffany.
Yeah.
So then they kind of go to Scarlett Jones, who we touched on a little bit with Esposito. She was his fake bodyguard, pretended she was trying to get a sex tape.
Yeah.
Didn't exist, but she took something, and she was paid for it, which Tiffany proved to us. Because she was a crazy person, and she was stalking him and her his bodyguard, which is crazy.
That was convenient.
Yeah. Very convenient that she catches her picking up money out of a trash can in the park.
It's kind of weird, but.
Yeah, but I think this is what you were saying. They really had to tie this whole episode together. There had to be little reasons that they were all a part of this.
I guess kind of everybody, like everyone, when you kind of introduce somebody else, like, hey, I know who did it, you kind of understand who they are as a person.
Yeah.
You know, from Scarlett Jones, from Tiffany Shaw, to who else was in Ronald Armstrong, the guy who like originated the protest with everybody.
Candace, his daughter.
Yeah, so it kind of like Mindy. So it's kind of everybody kind of tie in. You kind of understand who they are as a person and the reason why they kind of relate to both.
That's true. Yeah, that's true because they all knew him or were related to him.
And in fact, I mean, given what you're saying, what you're really saying is that they all were good people trying to help with the investigation. And even the ones who seemed suspicious were actually trying to, I mean, like Mindy, who we don't actually meet, is the one who theoretically had this fake sex tape and then was paid $1,000 to lie about it.
Say that, yeah.
And then, you know, obviously we find out she comes clean and, you know, doesn't want to be a accessory.
Everybody needs a little coaxing in this episode to just give it up. You know, Scarlett should have just said.
That's what she said.
Oh gosh, this whole episode. Well, Scarlett should have just said, you know, I was working for this person. I did this. You know, because the minute they said you were stealing stuff in his office, I would have been like, I was stealing it because I did this. And somebody paid me money. Tiffany. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, I didn't kill him, you know, when she was doing it for
Yeah, because
little.
what's she
little
trying to do?
frogs.
Hide or protect little frog?
I mean, but in most cases, when you kind of like
Confidentiality.
confidentiality. Like when you kind of
Yeah, but
hired
the
to do a
police.
job,
Yeah.
but even then, you know, it's still I can't tell you but so much. If you don't basically service me with a warrant or put me in custody, I can't tell you but so much.
Yeah.
And we're going a little bit out of order, but
It's hard.
but the guy who was
Protesting?
the one who was in charge of the company, Bo.
Randolph.
He flat out refused when Beckett said, you know, we'll just get a warrant, or no, when she wanted the name of the protesters, and he was like, I'm not getting.
Oh,
a
not
warrant.
Armstrong. Ronald
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Yeah, which made him seem not necessarily suspicious, but definitely like that's a dark character.
It's a dark character, but I knew he didn't have anything to do with it. But he's kind of one of those smart asses where he kind of knows the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
and you can't give up.
He seemed like a politician.
You can't give up those names. So he knew that. I think he knew that not only was he innocent, but he was not going to give any information or put anybody at risk just because you can tell he kind of like despises cops.
That's, either that or he was just kind of happy that Bo was dead because
He said that, kind of.
Because the whole time he's like protesting about his business, the type of business that he have, Girls Gone Wild, because the ethical part of it where you should basically respect each individual. So now he feels that, hey, as Bo's dead, that the business will no longer exist. So in the means of him not wanting to give up the protesters, he was protecting them, but at the same time, I think he just kind of like relieved that Bo is dead.
Yeah.
He no longer has to do this protest anymore. You know, it kind of served the purpose of, hey, we got rid of Girls Gone Wild. I mean, girls going to college.
Crazy girls going to college.
College girls gone crazy.
Yeah, college
It's
girls
so
going
hard.
crazy.
Not to be confused with college guys gone nuts.
Which College Guys Gone Nuts was another guy that they thought he was a potential business partner for Bo and a friend that's who Scarlett kind of roughed up on the street.
Yeah.
And we found him through a sketch artist and through the emergency rooms. He wanted to, this is how we get to Little Frogs Center Press, because he says, I wanted to work with him on, you know, College Guys Gone Nuts. And he said, no, he was investing in children's books or, you know, a children's company. And I know he was just saying that to blow me off, whatever. And they see him at the club and they think he went there to do that. And he said he went to pitch his story, and that's when he saw him fighting with Tiffany. This was like a web of I saw her, I saw him, I did this, he did that. Scarlett saw this guy and beat him up, and then he saw Tiffany, and Tiffany saw Scarlett. It was like...
But it does, I mean, to the credit of the creators of Castle... Or
it made sense.
You know, as soon as we find out that he has a kid and that makes him, you know, crystallizes his life's meaning,
The reason
then yes.
behind.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I don't know. It was weird to me.
But have you noticed, like, when the Girls Gone Wild section, you know, when Castle sees it, he's kind of like lights up, but when Beckett sees him, like, you know.
She was not amused once they got to, was it Gary Moore, the CEO, when they, when they went to the warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, his name.
The guy with the college guys gone nuts.
Seth.
Yeah.
College guys.
Seth.
She was doing a little ogling.
She was.
Yeah, she oogled a little bit.
Oogled.
Oogled.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ogled.
I missed that one.
You didn't see her do
you
that?
There was like this a lovely little moment where
Yeah,
she
and-
pulled a Castle.
And,
Yeah.
and Castle's like, hey, we want a job. And, you know, it kind of like pulls her attention back. Because she's
Yeah.
like staring at the guy with no shirt on. She's just kind of like, oh.
And she was like, oh, sorry. Yeah, you didn't see that?
Maybe I was taking notes. You know what? I remember I was writing because before that scene when they were walking outside, I had said, this is supposed to be like New York. And I was like, this is totally downtown LA. And so I think I was writing something, the name of the warehouse or something.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, so it's not Seth, it's not Tiffany, it's not Scarlett. Scarlett, and it's not Ronald, or we don't know if it's Ronald.
Starting to sound like the game of Clue.
I know, it's not Ronald in the study with the kind of stick. It's not him with his protesters. Or we don't know, and he doesn't give it up, and there's no reason for us to question him further. So they go to Little Frogs, and we find out that he's the one who paid Scarlett. He didn't want him investing in the company because if his name was on this company, it would bring down everything he'd worked for so hard. You know, he worked to build this company for his kids and his grandkids, and to have Bo on the board or even part of the company at all kind of discredits everything he did.
And the board is genuinely
A-okay.
interested in taking Beau's money and seeing, you know, how they can bring him in unless there's dirt on him.
Right, so he's looking for dirt, and he doesn't necessarily find dirt on Beau that Beau would be ashamed of because of what he does anyways.
Right.
But he finds it with this woman, Candace, who we saw at the beginning and thought she was an innocent club goer, but she was the last person to see Beau.
Yeah.
In the pink dress.
In the pink dress with the crazy hair.
Memorable.
Memorable, yeah. She reminded me of like an 80s girl, you know, with like her big hair and her bright pink neon dress.
Yeah.
But she, they bring her in, and Candace, I can't remember her fake last name.
Mayfield.
Mayfield. But her real last name's Armstrong, and it turns out it's a sex tape of her and Beau. And this is the one thing they never answered. Why did they have a sex tape, and why was it locked up in a safe? He wasn't using it for blackmail. He was super paranoid about it, but he had no intentions of using it.
That is very interesting, though. I guess he would use it, but at the same time, he would kind of like use it in the sense of, hey, talk to your father, Ronald, because if not, I'm gonna release this. Or
I don't think he would, though, because he was shutting it down. He was shutting it all down, and he was trying to clean up his act and really be a part of her life.
And maybe that was his past. Maybe that was his freaky side where he wanted it for his own personal collection.
Okay,
and
maybe.
so he.
Yeah, having the sex tape is one thing, but having it locked up
In a safe.
I guess for
It's
the
confusing.
memorization, like, hey, this is my one night stand with this Candace Mayfield.
Who's now my baby mama.
Exactly. We can watch this. Once the kid is born, we'll watch this together. So, like, but it was kind of like extremely weird to, you know, to
Yeah.
even have that.
She's a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
They bring her in for questioning, and she cries, and I honestly thought it was like a confession. I thought she was saying, I did it.
Well, she also cries and then says,
And-
"I need my lawyer." So.
Yeah, and they said there was video of her walking towards the bathroom right after he did.
Yeah.
And she went there. He wanted to talk to her some more and really convince her that he was shutting the business down, and she said that. And so they're shutting the business down, and she says he only told one other person. And this is after we found out they found her ultrasound in her books from her apartment, so she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And we found there's $5 million that Beau is
Giving to her.
as a trust to the
And
to the
she
kid.
Child.
and she showed the ultrasound picture to Beau 2 months ago, and so
And that's when he broke up with Tiffany.
and that's
started,
when he broke up. And that's when he broke up, and so that's how they were able to figure out from 2 months ago that
He changed.
he changed, and therefore they were able to go to the CEO.
Well, no,
the
the
producer.
The producer.
Yeah.
And so what was his name? Troy
Troy.
the
Strickland.
very first thing I wrote down, Troy Strickland.
Yeah, Troy Strickland. He's the producer. He was his very first camera guy, his very first producer. Been together the whole time. They're best buds through this all. And you can kind of tell now, looking back at the first time, he didn't really feel bad that Beau was dead. He's like, yeah, Beau's dead. He's like, I don't know who would do that.
I feel like this is the first ever Castle that I've been able to call. I mean, not from the beginning, but
Yeah.
definitely from it's at some point near the second half, because I was thinking about who had the most to lose once we found out that he was walking away from the company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So-
sad.
Yeah.
But as always, right when they call him out, he goes into this whole story of why.
Panic mode.
You know.
Yeah.
Everybody's
It was
got a
more-
reason.
It was
Everyone's
more or
got-
less like greed. He was like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, he's shutting the company down, but he also told me I'll be able to run the company one day. And his whole thing is that he wanted to basically to be in the spot of being that businessman, continue to.
I mean, all
Why-
these people always have good reasons. It's just
Yeah.
that it's not a reason to kill.
Kill.
It's a reason to be mad.
And so.
To ruin a friendship.
Right.
And so why couldn't he just say, "Hey, Beau, okay, if you're gonna close it down, you know, break me off, you know, give me half of, you know, if you're gonna sell it, give me 15%, give me 20%." I don't understand.
I think Troy was like, he was so embedded into it because he started as a cameraman. You know, sometimes you get involved with something, you just
Yeah.
don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I would have advised him to do is hook up with the
Tiffany.
college guys gone nuts and be his cameraman.
But I think one of the incentives was that he gets to film hot girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But at the same time, he, you know, if he was able to run the company for Beau, he won't have to go back and be a camera guy. Cause if he would went to
No, he probably didn't
guys
wanna be,
going
right.
nuts, he probably would just originally just be a camera guy.
He had enough experience and enough knowledge working under Beau that he could have started his own company and done that. He could have done what Bamm said and said, will you fund me to start this company? Your name
Yeah.
doesn't have to be anywhere on it. Everybody already knows I'm associated with College Girls Gone Crazy. Like, let me do that. But I think it was a heat of the moment thing. He told him at the bar.
It happened minutes later. He decided to kill him. I know.
Like, maybe it was mid-conversation that it happened. Like, who knows? Angers rose. People went crazy.
I got a question. How does he get the bra?
Because the girl, she said when she was having bathroom sex, things go missing.
Yeah.
But
Why were they in the women's bathroom?
yeah.
Maybe it wasn't, though. Maybe it was just like a bathroom, like a stall. Like, maybe she was in the men's bathroom having sex with the guy, the revenge sex.
That makes sense.
You know, these are small details.
That makes sense.
Small details, people.
It does make sense because there's not as much as the traffic is a lot quicker in the guy's bathroom and you go into the stall, but when you have a woman's bathroom, there's nothing but stalls, and if it's a club, you got to sometimes.
How funny would it be though if he'd gone into if he'd followed him into the men's stall and then was like, I don't have anything to kill this guy with. Oh look,
A bra.
That's where like CSI, like Miami and New York would have came into place, because then we could actually saw the flashback of how he goes.
Yeah.
Totally.
But overall, so I thought it was a great episode. So
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
and I enjoyed the murder.
And this was a delightful discussion about it.
And so we're going to continue discussing by going into news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yes, so last week there was some scary Castle news. I first saw it on Twitter, and apparently there was an accident on set, and so there was a van, and supposedly it was a moving van with a stuntman and a
guest star.
special guest star, and they fell off the moving van. And apparently it was because some door wouldn't close, is what I was reading. The door wouldn't close, couldn't get it to shut, and they ended up falling off this van, and they were both hurt pretty bad. The woman, I think her name was Karen, was in the hospital in the ER for hours apparently, and she left with a neck brace, and she's pretty sore and beat up a bit. And the stunt guy, I kept looking today and haven't heard any updates, so the last thing I heard was he was in serious condition at the hospital and maybe had sustained some head injuries. I mean, I think, he's a stuntman. This is something that kind of comes with the job, but it's still sad to hear.
And not with hers.
Not with hers, definitely not with hers. So it's sad to hear, and I'm hoping they're both okay. I know she's out of the hospital and she's okay. So I don't know about the stuntman.
Do you know what episode it's for? I wonder how far in advance.
I didn't see that in any of the articles I read, but it was not happy news, but it's Castle news. I'm sure a lot of you Castle fans saw it, and I'm pretty sure ABC didn't have a comment at the time, so.
Yeah, it just sucks. We're sorry that happened. We hope you guys get better.
Yeah. I hope that they're
I hope she got to shoot her best stuff before it happened. Listen, as an actor who goes out for you do not expect when you get a guest star that you're going to end up in the hospital.
I know. Rough luck.
Yeah, they work really hard too. So
yeah. Sad news.
Okay, well, let's go into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, ladies first, Paige.
I honestly, I'm going to piggyback on what I said earlier. I really think they're kind of building up Esposito as a single guy. They constantly keep referring to how he's single and he says stupid things and he's immature and that's why he doesn't have a relationship. I think they're building him up to have a relationship. I think he's going to get jealous of what Ryan has. He's going to get tired of people saying, you're single, this is why you're single, why do you say that, why are you into her, you're dating suspects. I just think and with the kid thing and the family thing and the Christmas episode, I think that's why we're seeing so much focus on him, is because I think they're bringing him to our attention, so when it does happen, it's not kind of out of left field. Oh, look it, Esposito's got a girlfriend. Whether it's Lainey or not, I think he's getting back in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like they can't put Castle and Beckett on the back burner forever. And, Paige and I were discussing before we went on the air that they still haven't mentioned anything. There's been, I guess, really, as much as we don't want to believe it, there is just not really any fallout from the ex-wife coming back into the picture and planting that seed of doubt in her mind. I just wish that we had a little sense of how the last few weeks have been going in their lives, but we'll find out. We're off next week, and we find out the week after.
I think Darby's too busy on Scandal.
Yeah, finally got the name of it right. Scandal. Absolutely. And Gates. Still no Gates.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's not a prediction. I'm just pointing it out.
Mr. Larice Shamar.
I think it's gonna be a road bump for Castle and Beckett because it's too perfect. Because there's no show that everybody can be in a relationship. Because then it's like, where's the spice? As of
bad television.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I think even if Esposito becomes like not single anymore, or start dating somebody, I think it's gonna be a bump with Castle and Beckett, because right now they're like too perfect, and you can't just have a perfect relationship. Nobody has a perfect relationship. You know, they really haven't had no arguments amongst each other. It's like, hey, we're just doing our job. Everything is like great. I think it's gonna be a bump in the road before the end of the season between Castle and Beckett.
I hope so.
I wonder if Gates finds out about them.
That could be a good bump.
Yeah.
That'd be a bump that's not in the relationship, but in the work relationship.
Yeah.
My prediction, I don't see the road bump. I think it's a great idea. I think they're going to continue with the week-to-week murder. And then I think that Castle and Beckett's relationship will reemerge in February because it's Valentine's.
Oh.
So I think yeah. And then I don't really see any signs of Esposito like settling down. I think he's going to continue to do, you know, the Bachelor thing, and I would say toward the end of the season we'll see
Change?
maybe a change in, you know, something with he and Lainey.
It's actually interesting now that Castle is kind of off the market. I bet they're having fun with having Esposito be on it, so they can have some nice a parade of lovely ladies for him to mess up with.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, I think if Esposito get a relationship, it's gonna be a confrontation between Beckett and Castle.
Yeah, they can't. It can't be everybody's happy.
Yeah. Either he's gonna be single,
No.
and Ryan's is gonna have like trouble with pregnancy, something crazy.
That'd be sad.
Yeah, we hope something comes with him, but something needs to happen.
Yeah, I want to see more of him. I really like Seamus.
And we want to see more of you, so you guys make sure that you guys continue to watch us on YouTube and iTunes. It's been a great night here recapping Castle, Season 5, Episode 12. And so let everyone know where you guys are.
Yes, you can find me at Paige Sull on Twitter and at perfectpaige.com.
You can find me at Samara Bay or at thesmartyattheparty.com.
And you can find me at True Peoples and at truepeoplesmedia.com.
And you can find me at Bamm Ericsen, BAMMERICSEN. Okay, so Castle will not be back next week. They will return in 2 weeks on February 4th, the day after the San Francisco 49ers will claim the throne as Super Bowl champions. Go Niners. So we will so we'll see you guys February 4th on another Castle recap for AfterBuzz TV.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.